One of the greatest feelings in football, scoring a goal, turning to the crowd, and hearing thousands of fans chanting your name. It's a moment of pure magic that every player dreams of, but not every footballer gets that kind of love. Some players are more familiar with boos than cheers, targets of anger, controversy, and constant criticism. In this video, we're diving into the dark side of the beautiful game, exploring some of the most hated footballers ever, and the moments that made fans turn on them. Joey Barton. Joey Barton was never a world-class player. He's probably more famous for being hated than his actual footballing skills. One of his early offences saw the midfielder stub a cigar out in the eye of a youth teamer on a night out. Stay classy Joey. A few months later, he was sent home from Manchester City's PI season tour of Thailand for assaulting a 15-year-old. Another time, Barton assaulted a teammate in training and was given a 4-month suspended prison sentence. His misdemeanors weren't just off the pitch while playing for QPR against Man City. Barton elbowed Carlos Tevez, kicked Sergio Aguero, then tried to headbutt Vincent Kompany. Luis Suarez. There's no doubt Luis Suarez is one of the best strikers of his generation, but for all of his brilliance, he's also one of the most despised players around. Suarez has beaten not one, not two, but 3 opponents during his career. Incredibly, he's been banned for 26 games for sinking his teeth into the flesh of fellow players. The thing is, those biting incidents aren't even the most controversial of his career while playing for Liverpool. Suarez was found guilty of racially insulting Manchester United left-back Patrice Evra, as if that wasn't enough. Suarez is also a serial diver, a fair play to him, though he can recover from injury really quickly. Diego Costa. Diego Costa once said he doesn't take his work home with him, just as well if he did. He'd probably pull his kids' shirts and dive over the kitchen table. Costa is football's biggest wind-up merchant. He loves nothing more than getting under the skin of his opponents. Just ask Seamus Coleman when the Everton defender scored an own goal against Chelsea in 2014. Costa taunted him. Or you could ask Gabriel Palista, who was once goaded into kicking out at Costa during a Chelsea v Arsenal match. This guy likes to cheat a lot, Kurt Zouma once said about Costa, and Zouma was one of his own teammates. Sergio Ramos. If you're a Real Madrid fan, you'll love Sergio Ramos. He's an excellent defender who's won multiple trophies with the club. If you're not a Real Madrid fan, well, you might have a different opinion with 26 red cards. Ramos has been sent off more than any other player in La Liga history. He's one of football's most notorious bad boys who loves to stick the boot into his opponents. Madrid supporters love his swaggering arrogance, but it rubs other fans up the wrong way. Liverpool supporters have particularly strong beef with Ramos after he injured Mohamed Salah in the 2018 Champions League final. Paulo Di Canio. When Harry Redknapp wanted to sign Paulo Di Canio for West Ham, most people thought he was mad. Di Canio had just been banned for 11 games for pushing over a referee. The Italian was seen as a loose cannon, and with good reason. Di Canio was a fiery character who never shied away from a confrontation. He was also a bit of a sulker. He once has to be substituted when Frank Lampard took a penalty instead of him. But there's also a darker reason why lots of people dislike Di Canio. The former striker admits he's a fascist who admires Italy's former dictator Benito Mussolini. He once celebrated a goal for Lazio with a Roman salute, a gesture adopted by Italian fascists in the 1900s. Carlos Tevez. Carlos Tevez has never been far away from controversy. He first hit the headlines when he joined West Ham in 2006. His registration was held by Media Sports Investment, and West Ham were hit with a massive fine for breaching regulations over third-party ownership. That wasn't really Tevez's fault, but he's the only one responsible for other acts that turn people against him. Let's just say Sir Alex Ferguson wasn't best pleased when Tevez left Manchester United for Manchester City. Roberto Mancini also had problems with Tevez, who once refused to come on as a sub for Man City. The striker spent the next few months on the golf course in Argentina while his teammates were trying to win the Premier League. Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole was once the best left-back in the world, but that didn't automatically make England fans proud of him. Cole was probably the most hated footballer in the country at one point. It all started out when he moved from Arsenal to Chelsea, earning him the new nickname of Cashley Cole. Infamously said he almost crashed his car in shock when he was offered a contract by Arsenal worth only £60,000 a week. That didn't go down well with fans who earn less than that amount in a year. The left-back also shot a work-experience student with an air rifle at Chelsea's training ground. Unfortunately for the youngster, Cole's shot was on target. Emmanuel Adebayo. Arsenal fans used to cheer Emmanuel Adebayo's name, but when he moved to Manchester City, He turned from hero to zero. Arsenal supporters accused the striker of chasing the money. Adebayo made things much worse when the two teams faced each other a few weeks later after scoring for City. He sprinted the length of the pitch to celebrate right in front of the Arsenal fans. Adebayo fell out with countless managers' teammates and opponents during his career at Tottenham. He was banished to the reserves by Andre Villas-Boas. Adebayo didn't endear himself to Crystal Palace fans when he joined the club in 2016. In his first press conference, he admitted he didn't know anything about Palace and would have to Google them. Neymar is one of the most talented footballers in the world. Even his biggest haters can't deny that. The problem is he's also one of the most unpopular players around today too. That's because of his antics on and off the field. Neymar's fond of a party or 10 and he makes no attempt to hide his lavish lifestyle. It's up to him what he gets up to off the pitch, but it does bring him his fair share of critics. Most of the hate is because of his attitude on the field. Neymar is a serial diver who seems to spend half the time rolling around on the floor. The Brazilian was also condemned for joining PSG in 2017. Most people thought he was taking a step down purely because of money, but that's a bit unfair. Barcelona have hardly been pulling up trees since he left. Sol Campbell. Now, unlike some of the names on this list, Sol Campbell isn't universally hated. However, Tottenham fans probably have enough contempt for him to make up for other clubs' indifference. Campbell came through Spurs Academy and went on to captain the first team in 2001. He decided to leave Spurs when his contract expired. Incredibly, he rocked up at the club's arch-rivals Arsenal. It's still one of the most shocking transfers of all time. Campbell was labelled a Judas by Tottenham fans whenever he played against them. The abuse often crossed a line though, and Campbell spoke out about some of the vile chants he had to endure. Did he regret joining Arsenal to Premier League titles and to FA Cups? Football isn't just about goals, glory, and trophies, it's about passion, and sometimes that passion turns to hate. Whether it's biting, diving, fighting, or betrayal, these players made sure their names would never be forgotten. But now, it's your turn. Which footballer do you think deserves to be called the most hated of all time? Drop your pick in the comments below, we're reading them all. And if you love diving into the wild, controversial side of football, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon, so you never miss our next deep dive into football's most shocking stories. Because in this game, heroes rise, villains fall, but the drama never ends. These players became villains in the eyes of millions, some for their tempers, some for their greed, and some for moments they could never take back. But here's the thing, in football, hate doesn't last forever. Today's villain can become tomorrow's legend. Time heals, fans forgive, and sometimes history rewrites their stories. So tell us, do you think these players really deserve the hate they got? Or were they just misunderstood? Let's talk in the comments. Your opinion might just end up in our next video.